Welcome everyone. Before the horror begins, like the video, subscribe to the channel and share in the comment where you're from and what time you're watching. It helps YouTube bring the best horror straight to your screen. Now let's begin. What lurks on the open road when the headlights carve through the night and the radio static screams your name? Some highways cradle shadows that know your journey, their echoes weaving terrors that cling to your wheels long after the engine dies. Tonight, we drive into 3 chilling tales of road trip horrors, where the asphalt itself pulses with something alive, watching, waiting. Buckle your seatbelt, check your mirrors, and listen closely, because some trips never let you arrive. Story 1. The Highway That Stared. The highway's cracked asphalt pulsed at midnight, its weathered surface forming pale, unblinking eyes that glowed with a sickly green light, glaring from the shadows of a deserted Texas stretch under a starless, suffocating sky. I was driving, alone, shattered by a family fallout that tore us apart, my refusal to pay off a shared debt after a failed business venture, choosing pride over unity, my brother's words, "You're worthless," slicing through my soul like a jagged pothole. Through a worn tire. The air was thick with exhaust fumes and a sour, metallic stench seeping from the car's overheating engine. The road littered with scattered debris, flickering reflectors half buried in dust, and faint scratches etched into the pavement like claw marks from something clawing up from the highway's cursed depths. The eyes multiplied, shimmering across the cracked blacktop, their gaze heavy with accusation, as if they saw every moment I'd let my family down, ignoring their desperate pleas for help, prioritizing my ego, fracturing our bond in a single stubborn argument. The road quaked violently, etching the words "stay here" in jagged, glowing lines across the asphalt, pulsing green, as if scratched by unseen claws burrowing from the earth's rotting core. Hungry for my guilt, the air turned unnaturally cold, my breath fogging the windshield in thick clouds that clung to the glass, obscuring the road ahead as the pavement hissed, whispering my name in his gruff, broken voice, warped and hollow, accusing me of causing the rift that broke our family apart. My headlights flickered wildly, their beams catching a figure on the road, tall, featureless, its limbs unnaturally long and skeletal, its void face glowing with those sickly green eyes, its stare searing my skin like frostbite through my torn, sweat-soaked jacket. The asphalt oozed black tar, reeking of decay, forming clawing hands that gripped my tires, their acid-like chill burning the rubber, sending vibrations that throbbed with my racing pulse, each throb echoing his final bitter words in that heated argument. I swerved, tires screeching over scattered debris, narrowly avoiding a rusted hubcap, but the pavement vibrated faster, the words morphing to glowing brighter, the whispers swelling into a scream that rattled the car's loose frame and sent dust swirling from the roadside like specters in the dark. The road pulsed, reflecting eyeless faces moaning my guilt, his angry shouts, my stubborn silence, a family shattered forever in one moment of pride. The figure's tarry hands rose, scorching the pavement with blackened streaks, the highway splintering open, dripping tar that shaped more screaming faces, each naming a regret I'd buried deep in my conscience, every ignored call, every selfish choice, every night I convinced myself I was right. I floored the accelerator, tires screeching on tar-slicked asphalt as the road quaked, the tar flooding the pavement, the faces screaming my name in a deafening, otherworldly chorus that echoed like his final cutting argument in our family home. I fled into the humid night, the figure's shadow chasing, its glowing eyes piercing through the rearview mirror's fogged, cracked glass. I sold the car, burned my old maps, but my dashboards glow at night, reflecting those pale eyes in there. Cracked gauges. My driveway traces stay here in tar, shimmering under headlights, and my skin burns, etched with the chill of that cursed highway. Some highways see your sins before you hit the gas. Story 2. The Rest Stop That Screamed. The rest stop's rusted sign screeched at 1 a.m., its dented metal panel forming a pale, eyeless face that screamed silently, its wail piercing the stillness of an Arizona highway under a moonless, oppressive sky. I was with my cousin, haunted by a failed scholarship exam that derailed my college dreams. Hours spent studying the wrong material, my confidence crumbling under the weight of blank pages, my professor's words, "You're hopeless," ringing in my head like the crackle of static from a dying radio. The air was heavy with gasoline and a rotting, fishy stench seeping from the rest stops overflowing bathrooms, the lot cluttered with crumpled trash, a flickering vending machine casting jagged shadows, and a faint glint of a broken knife catching the sign's sickly pulsating glow. The face traced the words "Come closer" in glowing, jagged lines across the metal, pulsing red, as if written in blood oozing from the panel's corroded edges, dripping like tears of failure onto the cracked concrete below. The scream grew louder, the sign trembling violently, its metal splitting to reveal carvings, my name, my failures, my lost future, etched as if by invisible claws, pulsing with a sickly green light that stung my eyes like static burning through my vision. The air chilled, my breath catching in my throat as the pavement oozed black sludge, forming slimy hands that gripped my ankles, their icy touch scorching the concrete with a burning chill that left faint, ashen scars on the ground. Shadows danced in the vending machine's erratic flicker, tall and impossibly thin, their void faces grinning with jagged, unseen teeth, their limbs stretching like twisted wires crawling across the lot's barren surface. The wail swelled into a chorus naming my shame-wrong answers, blank pages, a dream crumbling into dust growing, into a shriek that shook the rest stop's flickering lights and scent, trash swirling like ghosts in the humid air. My phone died, then flared, its screen showing figures rising from the sludge, dripping and clawing, their eyes glowing green, their mouths moaning my failures in a distorted, endless loop that echoed my professor's cold, dismissive tone. Sludge hands tightened, the words shifting to "You" called US, the carvings bleeding black oil that reeked of decay, pooling into more accusing faces that writhed across the pavement like living scars. The sign surged, its metal forming eyeless faces that screamed my name at a deafening, unearthly roar that felt like it could tear the rest stop apart. We tore for the car, sprinting past scattered trash and shattered glass as the lot quaked. The flashlight sparking in bursts of unnatural flame, the figures lunging with clawing hands, their touch searing the air with a freezing burn that stung my skin. The sludge flooded the pavement, forming countless faces, their shrieks chasing US onto the highway's dark, endless expanse. I escaped, the rest stopped trembling behind me, but my signs hum at night, tracing "Come closer" in glowing lines across my dashboard, the stench of rot lingering in every crevice of my car. Some rest stops sing your failures back to you. Story 3, The Bridge That Breathed. The bridge's rusted railing pulsed at 2 a.m., its corroded metal forming a pale, eyeless face that whispered softly, chilling my blood on a California highway bridge under a starless, suffocating sky. I was driving alone, grieving my mother's sudden death from an undiagnosed heart condition. Symptoms I dismissed as stress, too consumed by work to notice her last words, "You weren't there," burning in my memory like salt in an open wound. The air was sharp with ocean salt and a coppery, blood-like tang that stung my nostrils, the bridge littered with frayed cables, cracked pavement, and a faint glint of a lost locket catching the flickering streetlight's glow, casting jagged shadows across the structure's weathered edge. The face whispered, "Stay with me," in her faint, trembling voice, warped and hollow, accusing me of absence during her final gasping moments in that sterile hospital bed. The pavement oozed black tar, reeking of decay, pooling into clawing hands that burned my legs with an acid-like heat that throbbed with each desperate step, leaving welts that pulsed with pain like her fading heartbeat. The air grew heavier, the railing thickening, dripping black oil that formed accusing faces, my mother's, my siblings, my own, their mouths moving silently, blaming me for ignoring her fatigue, for dismissing her pain as fleeting in those final weeks. My flashlight flickered, its beam revealing figures in the shadows tall, their limbs twisting like gnarled vines, scraping the bridge's frayed cables, leaving wet, glowing marks that pulsed green in the dark. The bridge screamed my name, the tar hands tightening, searing my skin with burns that lingered like scars etched in guilt. The streetlights flickered out, the bridge closing in, the oil flooding the pavement, shaping countless faces that echoed my grief in a chorus of unrelenting rage, their eyes hollow yet piercing through my soul. The cables shook violently, the figures lunging with clawing hands, their screams deafening my senses, drowning out my own panicked sobs. I smashed through the bridge's barrier with my car, my hands bleeding as the pavement splintered, the tar flooding, the faces roaring her name in a relentless, haunting wail that seemed to tear through the night's oppressive silence. I fled to the highway, the bridge splintering behind me, the screams chasing me through the fog-soaked night. I swore off bridges, burned my old travel journals, but my rearview mirrors fog at night, forming my eyeless face in the glass, glowing, faintly green in the dark. My hands burn with the word stay, etched into my skin like a brand, and the air smells of tar, whispering her name in the stillness. Asterisk. Some bridges hold your grief forever. Which of these road trip nightmares would you survive until the sun rises? Share your own chilling encounters in the comments. Have you ever felt eyes watching from the shadows of a lonely highway? Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell for more terrors from the darkness. Something darker waits on the next road. We'll see you there.